everyone, it is Kate from The Fold Line. I am back this week with something that I haven't done for ages. I am doing a sewing book review. I know I had a chat with Tilly a few weeks ago, but I haven't had one where I actually sit down, show you what's going on inside, and I've got a really good one to talk to you about. So this is the Work to Weekend Wardrobe by House of Pinheiro. I'm sure many of you have seen that it's been released in the last month, and Rachel sent me a copy to have a look at, and I thought I'd talk you through it because it's nice to talk about cool stuff that people are doing. So this book, the concept of the book, Work to Weekend Wardrobe, is that you get 6 patterns to take you from Monday through to the weekend, as you may have guessed. So the book comes with 6 patterns inside, which are fully graded. The sizing on them is roughly a UK 8 to 16, so it's quite a small range of sizes. But there's some really lovely patterns in here, so I'm going to show you what's inside. So first things first, let's talk about the patterns. They come in the back of the book, which is great. I'll show you here. So they come like this. If I bring it forward, you can see they are overlapped, but it's not crazy. There's only 2 per page, and they're also colour banded. So for me, who hates tracing off, I actually don't find, and I'll show you that, that's probably as busy as it gets. I don't find that too overwhelming. It's not a sort of birder situation. So they come in the back, ready for you to go, so you will need to trace those off. And I think this book is probably aimed at a more intermediate sewer. I don't think this is specifically for beginners. I think you need to have a few things under your belt, and I will show you why. In terms of how much this is, I actually can't remember how much it costs, but I will pop a link to like Amazon or something, because that's probably the one that most of you can get hold of. I'll pop a link to Amazon and you can get it from there. It is published by David and Charles as well, so just, you know. They also, who did they do? They've done Wendy Ward's book, and they've also done Melissa from Fair Trade's book, so they've done quite a few sewing books, so she was in safe hands with them. Right, so as I was saying, the beginning, this book is designed, I would say, more for intermediates. Well, not intermediates, I think you need to have a few things under your belt. The thing that I really liked about this book is I am sure a lot of you get these sewing books, and the beginning bit of the book where they tell you loads of tips and stuff, you just like, to be honest, I just flick through most of them and just go straight to the projects. But I was having a look through this and having a read, and actually the beginning of this book is really, really useful. There's some really good kind of tips. So I'll show you, like, for example, the diagrams in this are really good as well. So they've got a chapter 2 on like key techniques here, where they talk you through how to do things properly, how to pleat things properly. In here they're talking about how to stabilise hems, but you can see the diagrams are really nice, and there's quite a lot of kind of good detail in there. How to hem facings, and it's just really nicely done. I was really impressed with it. How to properly put in pockets as well. And so this is all before you get going. So it's really, I found this really useful. And I think if you've made a couple of things and you want to learn a bit more, the beginning of this book is really useful. They also have this section, let me find it. So the next chapter is fitting and drafting, where they talk you through all the different types of fitting adjustments that you can make. They have these quite handy, let me find it here, these little graphs here. So it says, so area, neckline, fitting analysis, circular wrinkles, vertical pull lines. The issue is the neck is bigger than the pattern, secondary areas that affected your armholes, and then troubleshooting approaches, lower neckline, widen neckline, or raise the shoulder seam. So there's quite a lot of good kind of info in here if you've had issues when you've made things before and you've noticed that you get a weird little pull. I'm sure you'll be able to find the answer to how to fix that. So once we've gone through this, and when I say like All right, let me just show you. I mean, probably a quarter of the book is full up with information about fitting and really useful stuff at the front. So it's quite a big chunk of it, and it's quite detailed, and yeah, it's nicely laid out as well. So now we get into the fun part, the projects. So the first one is Monday. So each day of the week, each pattern is a different day of the week. And so this is the first one. It's a jumpsuit. So the first page is laid out like this, so you can see it on a couple of different people, which I also really liked, that it wasn't just on one model. The next page is then the lay plans, the sizing chart, so you can work out what size you're making, the instructions of you know, how much fabric you're going to need and all of that jazz. And then it starts going into the construction, and I really like the way that this is laid out. I haven't seen a sewing book laid out like this before. So order of work. So each step is written down here, and then there's a corresponding image to go with it. You can see the illustrations for this are really nice. They're really clear, and some of them are illustrating quite complicated manoeuvres within your fabric, and I thought they were done really nicely. I actually can look at them, and quite often I look at them and I don't know what is going on here, but this I found they're very clear. So that's the first one. It's this lovely jumpsuit, quite simple to make actually, this one, and they all come with like variations as well, so you can take, they're called like technical variations, so you can tweak them and change them. Then we've got Tuesday, which I think probably out of all the patterns was my favourite one. So it's this dress here, which was really beautiful. I will show you. This is, yeah, super pretty. I think this shape would suit quite a lot of people. Again, you've got all the kind of lay plans, etc, etc. My favourite, so there's a second variation on this dress, which is a bit baggier, which I think was my favourite out of them all. I really like this. It's got the slit up the front. It's got a looser sleeve. It's generally a slightly looser silhouette, which for me, I personally prefer. But yeah, I really liked that one. I thought that was probably my favourite out of all of them. Yes, so it's called the Easy Breezy dress, that one. So then we get on to Wednesday, which I think this one is the most complicated of the patterns. So this is it. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at when I first flicked to the page, but if I come in a bit closer, this is actually a two-piece. So this is a skirt and little jacket, which is a really interesting idea. I've never seen anything like that, but it's obviously designed to look a bit like a trench coat. So let me go in and then I can show you. So it's called the trench suit. And obviously this one is probably quite an involved mate. You can see here from all the way it's all laid out, kind of a bit more full on. The version I preferred of this was the version that she made in a more of a suiting fabric. I think this is a bit softer and a bit more feminine. I think out of the kind of that one or the other one, I really liked this one. It's really interesting seeing patterns in different fabrics. They look, you know, totally different. Yeah, so that one was lovely. Then on Thursday we've got this really cute little blouse. These trousers are in the book, they're a little bit earlier on. So you have this blouse with these really interesting raglan detail with piping. And also a shirt dress, which I will show you, variation, which Rachel's wearing there, which is really nice and an absolute classic. So then we've got to Thursday, then we move on to Friday, is this one. It's a dress and a little two-piece. You can see here like a little cropped sort of top, and I thought this was a really nice one. I like the crop top with the skirt version. Again, really sweet. And then we get on to the weekend, which is a kind of really nice t-shirt. And you can see here this really sweet kind of dress variation. This is nice because she then does different neckline variations as well, which are quite interesting, kind of slightly more different from the norm, like this sort of 60s feel. And then last but not least, you get a bag pattern, which was nice. And it's not just a sort of boring tote, it's a rucksack, which I thought was really nice. And it's quite a nice shape as well. So yeah, you get quite a lot of kind of good stuff in here. I think, yeah, I would definitely say this is aimed at a more sort of intermediate maker, but I think there's lots of good things in there, and there's loads of really good solid information at the front as well. So I didn't feel, sometimes I feel like the beginning bit's slightly fillery, people are just doing it almost because they have to put that sort of stuff in the front, but I felt like this was really kind of well thought out. And yeah, I think it's great. So if you like it, I'll pop a link down below. You can go and have a look at it online. And yeah, well done, Rachel. I'm very, very impressed. Anyway, we'll be back soon with another video. And in the meantime, have a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye.